What do you see when you look at these faces? We might not want to hear it, but in this multicultural world, scientists say many of us continue to have an inbuilt racial bias. They call it implicit racism. It may be unconscious, but it skews our judgments and decisions all the time. The result could be discrimination. It could sometimes be worse. Now a team at the University of Barcelona are exploring how technology could help people overcome this implicit racism. Participants were put into a simple virtual world where their body movements were tracked using a motion capture suit. But the body they had in this world had dark skin. This virtual world may look simple, but scientists say it has a massive impact when you're in it, and I want to experience it myself. I'm not an ideal participant in this experiment because I knew what it was all about, so at the start I very much noticed that my skin was dark. But now the longer I've been in the environment, it doesn't really come into it anymore. I sort of look at myself and she moves when I move, but now it just feels more like me. It doesn't really matter what colour my skin is.
We were interested to see whether embodiment in an avatar of a different race would change people's implicit racial bias. So by implicit racial bias, I mean that it's the bias that we don't know we have, that we just get from everyday life living in a society where there is bias against minority groups in the media.
A short stint in this blocky avatar shows some surprising results.
When we embodied light-skinned people in a dark virtual body, their implicit racial bias decreased. The type of body you have seems to actually influence how you behave, what your thoughts are, and so on. It may be used to actually help people who have these kind of implicit biases to recognize they have them, but also to reduce them. But also it can be used for various kinds of rehabilitation to give people experiences, empathic experiences that they can never have.
The virtual world scientists are now building are becoming ever more responsive and realistic. It's also getting cheaper to do. The team here use a Unity 3D game system, combined with the much-hyped Oculus Rift head-mounted display.
This is certainly causing a stir in the technical world. How will the kind of work we're doing be put on a mass scale? I think the most likely way is that it's embedded in games.
While its use outside the lab may be some way off, scientists are finding interesting ways to use this technology to explore and modify behaviour.
I'm sorry, I'll finish my pint and then I'll go, okay?
In one experiment, football fans were put into a pub where a fight was starting.
Well, take your pint and off. Why?
They found that supporters were more likely to break it up if someone who supported their own team was involved.
I'm not going to take the shirt
Calm
off.
down, calm down.
What's going on here? You told me to
Hey, you on me.
Another study gave adults a child-sized avatar and found that they identified more with how it feels to be small. The team believes this scenario could help parents understand their children more and even be used to help educate offenders.
So this is a kind of whole area that's opening up to the idea of embodiment as a kind of empathy-generating machine.
Scientists say there's still a long way to go, but what's clear is that virtual reality provides a stepping stone towards better empathy with others in the real world.
For the times of the full-length Click this weekend, log on to our website bbc.com/click.